Yay! Happy Friday! Today we're going to do something a little bit different. So, story time. My friends and I are hopelessly addicted to this old game called World of Warcraft, and it's fantastic. But the best part about it is the friends that you make along the way. So this is one of those friends, Malara. Alone be praised. Anyway, Malara is here. Won this absolutely excellent hammer in the game, the Gavel of Pure Light, and asked me, hey, can you actually model this in Inventor? And I explained Inventor isn't really for modeling this kind of thing, but let's do it anyway, why not? This is the Gavel of Pure Light, and as you can tell, it's a pretty potato model. It's very low in polygons, just so that I can go in the game easily. So let's go ahead and see how we'd actually model that up in Inventor. This is the completed model. Not too bad, not too bad. I wager that we could do this in about 3 features. A revolution for the handle and this head, a revolution for the hammerhead here, and a prism, an extrusion for the body there. So let's get to it. We'll go ahead and we'll start by creating a new standard millimeter part. And we'll come along here and we'll start a 2D sketch, and we'll make a sketch on the XY plane. On the XY plane, here we can place down an image, and we're going to use that image that we looked at earlier to trace out the picture. To trace out the hammer, I should say. So we'll place down the hammer, and the first thing that I like to do is make sure that the scale of the thing is correct. So I'll just draw a quick line here to get a sense of proportion. And I can see, okay, it's about, body there is about 44 millimeters. Say that I wanted that to be about 300 millimeters. Might come along to my calculator and say 300 millimeters divided by 44. So we've got to scale the image up, 6.68. So we'll come along here, select the image, come to scale, and we will say 6.68. For the base point, we'll pick this one, although it doesn't really matter. Here we go, and click apply. Beautiful. Okay, so what we're going to do is first create the profile of the revolution for the handle. So we only have to really do half of it because it's going to be a revolution. So we'll go ahead, we'll trace the low poly model. Looking good, looking good. I might adjust some things before we click OK. Oh yeah. Okay. Looking good, looking good. Trace, trace, trace. Lovely. And we'll close it off with the central axis. Now, because the image is a little bit on an angle and we didn't correct it, we're going to have to make some adjustments now, but it's not the end of the world. We'll go ahead and we'll add in a horizontal constraint for that line there and this line here. And we'll make some adjustments just to make sure that it's a little bit representative of the hammer. There we go. Nothing too serious today. Ooh, excellent, excellent. So the reason why these models from these games are such low poly is because it takes up less memory and you can have more on the screen at the same time. Although things are changing very quickly. Games look like movies these days, don't they? Okay, looking good. So we got the profile for the handle. We'll come along to finish sketch. And we'll come to the revolve feature. We'll click revolve. Click that profile and the central axis. And there we have the handle. Looking pretty good so far. We're going to bring that sketch back to visibility by expanding out Revolution 1, finding Sketch 1, right-clicking, and saying Visibility. Beautiful, because we're going to reuse that for the other features. So next we'll come along and we'll do the hammerhead. We'll make a sketch on the XY plane again. Lovely. And just to compensate for the angle a little bit, we'll just be careful. Here we go. Come along and make a horizontal, vertical line there. And a few more lines representing the prism that makes up the body of the hammer. Looking pretty good, looking pretty good. Excellent. There we go. Yeah, looking, maybe just a little bit of adjustment. Sweet, excellent. Maybe a little bit more. Oh, good stuff, good stuff. We'll say finish sketch. And this time we're going to extrude that profile in both directions. And maybe a total of 110 millimeters. Looking pretty good, looking pretty good. Okay, the last bit is that hammerhead there. So we'll go ahead and we're going to do that as a revolution. So we'll make a sketch on the XY plane. And here we'll come along and we will do, well, I'll hit F7 first, or slice plane, and it'll allow us to see through the material. Here we go. I'm going to start off at this vertex here, and we'll make a couple of points, that'll do. That'll be our central revolution, and hey, excellent. We might want to adjust the angle so it's a little bit more flat on the end there. Hey, looking good, looking good. Okay, great. So we've got the revolution. We'll create the revolution for the hammerhead. There we go. And for the central axis, this time we'll pick this line here. Ooh, that looks pretty potato, but not too bad, not too bad. We might need to adjust one little thing about it. We'll come back to Extrusion II, and we have to make it a little bit wider. So we'll come along here, maybe make it 130 millimeters. Maybe almost a bit 140. Hey, that looks better. Cool. So we have our absolutely potato hammer. Now, it looked a bit better in the completed one because we had color in it and decals, and I'll show you how you can do that. The first thing that we'll do is we'll change the material to gold. So we'll come along here to gold, and we'll say, oof, that looks a bit orange. Here we'll come along and we'll change the appearance from metal 1600 degrees Fahrenheit to 2400 degrees Fahrenheit. Make it nice and gold. All right, now what would be nice is if we could superimpose the decal onto it. So to do that, we'll come along and say decal. And for some reason, I'm just doing this one face at a time. We'll click that face there and say plus, and it will grab the decal from that one image in the background. I'll repeat it for each of these faces. So yeah, there we go. There's the wood, there's the gold one. I'm not going to do the handle because Malara's hand will be on there, and that's not a part of the model really. Grab each of these faces. Oops. Grab that face, hit the plus, grab the decal, do the same for the hammerhead. Ooh, looking pretty good, pretty good. Almost there, almost there. Excellent. Oh, almost. Decal. Grab this one. And this one here. Lovely, beautiful. Oh, that's a pretty potato hammer. I think it looks pretty good, pretty much like the original. I'll hide the sketch, and there we have the Gavel of Pure Light. I'll show you one more thing that's really useful for 3D models, and that's sometimes you want to annotate your 3D model just so that the person who opens it up can see what they're looking at. So we'll come along here to the Annotate tab, and here we're going to click General Note. We'll be asked for to specify a standard for our note taking, and we'll say OK. And here we'll click the top left quadrant. And here we can say the Gavel of Pure Light for Malara. Lovely. And one last thing, because it is Malara's hammer, it might be nice to make a little engraving on it. So I'm going to grab the back, and we're going to make a sketch on this rear face here, and we are going to put some text down. Here we go. Malara Chromatic Dawn. That's the name of the guild. And we can grab it all by hitting Ctrl-A and do a center justification. Oh my, that's tiny and upside down. No worries. We'll double click it and we'll edit it. So we'll say it's 24 tall. Oh no, way too big. Try again. 12. Looking a bit better. Looking a bit better. Let's say 9 millimeters. Oh, yeah. And just like a text box in a word processor, we can drag it out. Lovely. And lastly, we'll come along, rotate it, and we will say, whoop. There we go. 180 degrees. Excellent. Excellent. Cool. Once we've got the text down, we can come along to 3D model and do an emboss. Grab the text, grab the surface, and we'll do it as an engrave. Hey, now it's really Malara's hammer. Okay, that was it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a little thing. And I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.